GMGP, good morning, good people. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all decided to wake up with us. You're sick. You're sick in the head. There's a lot of fantasy football shows out there, but I promise y'all, they not like us. Brock Bowers, you looked a little quicker than fast. What does that even mean? Redraft, Dynasty, best ball, high stakes, we got you covered. And that's MVS and Justin Watson with some of the dopest tools designed to help you cancel out the noise and dominate your leagues. If there's a white wide receiver named Antoine, sign me up. Maybe it's cultural. I don't know. In season or off season, rain, sleet, hail, and snow, comma, semicolon, period, next sentence, to bring you the most actionable and entertaining content on YouTube. You don't go buy the dip on the Titanic.
Quarterback that you love, D-Bro. One of the best values in fantasy football.
Prop bets with my man Jay Rich.
Is that yes! Let's go!
So wipe the crust out of your eye, get you a cup of coffee. It's time to wake y'all asses up with Ray
and Jay
in the morning.
My God.
How good is he? How good is he? Let's get it, baby. GMGP. It is Friday, October 24th, 2025. Y'all decided to wake y'all asses up with myself and my brother from another mother. Y'all know who it is, the Canadian, the double down king himself, Jordan Richards. You can find him at your boy Jay Rich on X, Instagram, TikTok, wherever Jay Rich may be. Show him some love today, and I'm going to show the good people in the Wake Up chat some love. I see y'all already talking about the Thursday night game. We got to get to that. Rodgers revenge game. Jay Rich and I go back and forth on if Lamar Jackson is even going to play this weekend. We got the Cowboys and the Broncos, other top storylines across the NFL. Dolphins say they're still trying to compete. Jay Rich, I don't know about that. They said they're still in it. Jay Rich, and they got Bijan Robinson this weekend. It is not going to end well for Dolphins fans, but we got the people in the building. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Scribbles, what's going down with y'all? Y'all see it? Oronde Gadsden making it freaking happen, man. Oronde Gadsden making it happen. Jay Rich looks good. Gotta trust it. You gotta trust that Trinity or trust that Joe. Either or, baby. Either or. Rico, what's going down with you? El Ski, what's happening with you? Ricardo, what's up, baby? Freaky Friday, what's going down with you? It is nasty weather down here in the DFW area, Jay Rich. Very nasty weather. What's up with the comments, Jay Rich? Got everybody's ad on there now. Everybody's ad is on here. Did YouTube make an update, Jay Rich? What is this? Everybody's got an ad in front of their name now. How you doing?
I don't know.
Yeah.
For everyone who obviously can't see our end, it just looks different. Yeah, we see your ats instead of your
name.
I guess.
Yeah. What is this? Yeah. Patrick is Captain Clutch 5. Maybe he switched it, but it's everybody's ass. No, YouTube switching it up on us, man. How you doing, Jay?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I slept in this morning, so I'm feeling good. Chargers, Ray, big win. Finally, when I picked them, they won a game, so that was good for me because, you know, me and those Chargers, we got our Joe Alt back. Offense looking good, Ray. Dare I say top 5? Maybe. Not quite. Looking good, though.
Jay Rich, the offense is good, baby. The offense is good. I don't know if they're top 5, but the offense is definitely good, man. We got some college football this weekend. I see some people in here. If LSU takes an L this weekend, will this be Brian Kelly's last game? I think he's on his way out. I know we're not starting with college, but I think Brian Kelly's on his way out, Jay. Maybe he's gonna take that Penn State job. Big name head coaches move around. They just move around to different spots.
Yeah, but do you think that Rule's not going to take the job?
Oh, yeah.
The way he talks about Penn State, man, like, I didn't even know he's a Penn State alum until I watched an interview of him being asked about it.
That's probably
I was like,
pick.
Man, he's probably taking that job. But maybe Kelly moves over to Florida because the Florida job's open because Billy Napier got fired. I'm not saying it's a good fit, but I wouldn't be shocked if they thought.
I don't know. He's gonna change. He's gonna get that Florida accent. He's gonna drop that Cajun accent. Remember that video of Brian Kelly, that fake Louisiana accent?
That was
the hell out of here, Brian Kelly. Get that out of here. All right, Jay Rich, got a lot to talk about. Even though the best thing that hit our TV screens since our last show on Wednesday had nothing to do with the NFL. We'll talk about that a little bit later. We did have a Thursday night football matchup between the Chargers and the J.J. McCarthy-less Minnesota Vikings, and it was announced a few hours ago as we were prepping for the show at 4 a.m. J.J. McCarthy magically cleared. He'll be on the field next week. He was the emergency quarterback, I guess, last night. We talked about it. Was he ducking some of that smoke? But conveniently missed missed that 7-sack performance that Carson Wentz got punished for last night. My goodness, the Vikings didn't stand a damn chance. 3-4 on the season. And on the other side of the ball, the Chargers are flying high, Jay Rich. But before we get into that, if you missed any of the content on this channel or DDFFB, make sure you pull up. Check this out a little bit later. I did a 2026 NFL mock draft. Went picks 1 through 15, Jay. Have not done a full 32 yet because it's just, the Chiefs are picking inside like the top 16 picks. And I know that's not going to be the case, right? So it's more of an exercise of what's happening at the top of the class, how those things can impact, some decisions later on or potentially some moves that we might make right now. And I am going to drop a rookie mock right here on this channel, 1-round rookie mock, probably later today. I got some time today, Jay Rich. I want to get a rookie mock for the good people out there as we get into the weekend. And then you got to trust it, baby. Trust the Oh, look who's on the thumbnail, Jay Rich. 86 from LAC. Now, we recorded this show on Monday. So if you have not checked it out, if you're not a member of DDFFB, if you were, you got this video on Monday. We talked about Gadsden. We talked about A.J. Brown. We're going to talk about him because he's still sending out cryptic messages, Jay Rich. I don't know what's going on with A.J. Brown. Used but unused. Seen but unseen. A.J. Brown, the poet, now in Philadelphia, still doesn't seem happy about his role. But check out the content on DDFFB. Jay, let's get to the game, baby.
Okay, that was a great segue.
Was that a good segue? I'm trying to do better, man. I'm trying to set you up for success around here, Jay Rich. But talk about it. 37-10.
Yeah, it was not a good performance from the jump, honestly, when you talk about what we saw from the Vikings. But the Chargers looked pretty good, right? They ran the ball very effectively, especially in the second half when they were up big with Vidal.
Yeah,
Joe Walt being back was a massive lift for this offensive line. They talked about it pretty much the entire broadcast, just like what he brings to the team and how valuable he is. Not to say that Rashawn Slater isn't valuable, but having at least one of those two tackles is a huge lift for this team. I mean, the biggest story, honestly, because Carson Wentz was awful. He was injured. He got sacked a ton. They couldn't run the football. They could barely pass the football. It was a great defense performance from the Chargers, honestly. For a defense that had been kind of reeling at times throughout the weeks, they had a great game plan. It seemed like they were all over this Vikings offense on that short week. But the number one story, Ray, I think is, unfortunately, your boy, Quentin Johnston. He was out there.
My boy.
But 0 targets. 52% snap share for Quentin Johnston. We talk weekly. What do we do with your Chargers? We say you start them all because you never know who's going to get the ball. Ladd McConkey, 10 targets. Gadsden, 5 targets. Keenan Allen, 5 targets. Quentin Johnston, 0 targets on that 52% snap share. What are you doing with your Quentin Johnston going forward? Because I sent you the Reddit thread titled Quentin Johnston, Thursday Night Football, Halloween Horror Show. Horror Show. Yeah, and it was people awful. Are panicked on that QJ.
It was an awful performance. I mean, he didn't do shit. He didn't get opportunities. He was in the locker room after the game. They were showing Jim Harbaugh talking to the team after the game, pumping them up. Everybody was still kind of, they were in their football uniform. They were still sweaty, still dirty. QJ was fully clothed. He had his go home clothes on. Just didn't even show up, Jay Rich. This is the Chargers offense. If you started Keenan Allen, you don't feel good. 4 for 44. Trey Harris is the one that scored the touchdown. It was all Ladd. It was all Gadsden. They really didn't need to do anything else. Justin Herbert threw the ball 25 times. Last we saw him, what did he throw? 55 times in the previous game. Threw the ball 50 plus times. They ran the ball very effectively with not just Kamani Vidal, who really got it popping for LA, was Justin Herbert. He was doing, what's his usage rate? You look at that with the NBA usage rate to see who's touching the ball, distributing the ball, scoring buckets. That was Justin Herbert last night, man. His usage rate was crazy high. 7 for 62 on the ground, 227, 3 touchdowns through the air, 72% completion percentage. This Vikings team, I thought they were good. I thought this Vikings team was good. I thought this Vikings defense was good. I thought Brian Flores was this wizard of a defensive coordinator, and they looked like ass out there last night. Terrible. Can't block. Yep. Free agent acquisitions up front. The line is in shambles. You get Aaron Jones back. They still can't run the damn ball. Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason, both of them. Stank, Jay Rich. Stank. Justin Jefferson was fine. 7 for 74. You'll take that. TJ Hawkinson stank.
Yeah.
Jordan Addison, listen, Jay Rich, it wasn't great for Jordan Addison either. But again, if you pull up to this show right here, who's on the thumbnail, Jay? Addison. Scott and I were talking about him. You got to trust follow the dots, Jay Rich. You got to follow the dots. And in that same show in which we talked about Gadsden, you know who we said we weren't really feeling this week?
Who?
Quentin Johnston. You could look at the usage over the past couple of weeks, and it's far back, man. It's right now. It's Ladd McConkey leading the way.
Game, and then
he missed the game
last week where it was not so good, right? Yeah.
You look at what they've been doing. It's Ladd and it's Gadsden. Those were the top two target earners as far as the usage that scores fantasy points. It was those two going into this game, and both of them look great. Let's talk about Ladd real quick. We did not panic on Ladd McConkey. It sucked. It was terrible to start.
Yeah.
But what do we continue to say? You just got to trust the usage. At some point, if you're being used to that degree, typically those targets are earned. Those targets are earned because you're a really good player. But every player, you're not going to go out there and score a touchdown every week, have 100 damn yards. So for me, I've continued to double and triple down on this. I'm just going to trust the players that are getting thrown the ball. I'm going to trust the players that are being used in high leverage, high value fantasy scoring opportunity situations. And then you let the chips fall where they may. And that's been Ladd McConkey. So if you practice some patience with him, feel pretty damn good right now. I actually tried to trade for him a few weeks ago, couldn't get anything done. But the real hidden star of this team for the Chargers is Oronde Gadsden II, the rookie tight end, back-to-back dominant, back-to-back dominant weeks. 3 straight dominant weeks right now from this young tight end. He moves different. I mean, he looks like a damn receiver out there, Jay Rich. He's kind of reminiscent of young Darren Waller back in the gap, right? That's who he feels like when we watch him play. How impressed are you with this rookie? And amongst rookies this season, screw where we would pick him in the rookie draft, right? Let's do this exercise. The hell or where they would go. Top 10 rookies right now, Jay Rich. Let's run through them. Top 10 rookies, 2025 season. We're talking offensive, defensively. We're not going to get into that. Offensive rookies, top 10. Let's start quarterback. Jackson Dart, top 10, correct?
Yes, Jackson Dart would be in the top 10. He'd be probably the only quarterback.
The only quarterback. So we got 9 spots left. Let's move on to running backs. Top 10 rookies this year. Quinshon Judkins. Yes. He's in there. Quinshon is in there. Absolutely. Scatterboo. Hampton, Scatterboo.
Yes.
Okay. Hampton, Scatterboo. Dart. So we're at 4.
Yes, we'll see if Genty's got to make it, right?
Genty's in there. Genty's in there. Yes,
but he's probably it, right?
Those are your 4 running backs. Those are your 4 running backs. Genty, Hampton, Scatterboo, Judkins. Any other running backs you want to add to that?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head right now.
We're already at 5, Jay. We're already at 5.
Yeah, but there's not receivers though.
Let's go receivers. Igbuka he's in the top 10. Absolutely.
Yes.
That's 6. Who else?
McMillan?
Yeah.
By default, basically.
You put McMillan in the top 10, absolutely. Tedero McMillan in the top 10. That's 7.
Golden's not making it.
Golden is not making it, no.
Then Trey Harris, bust.
No.
Jack Betch, bust.
No, they can't be
Johnson?
No, Tez. Let's go to tight ends.
Yeah, right.
We got 3 spots left. Tyler Warren, yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. Gadsden, yes.
Gadsden would be a top 10 as well. We got 1 spot left. Who's the last rookie you want to put in the top 10? Who's the last rookie?
I don't even... Who am I forgetting?
I don't think we're forgetting anybody. Travis Hunter?
Travis Hunter. That's the guy that has to be at 10. That's the guy, Hunter.
There's your top 10. There's your top 10. No Hendo.
And I feel pretty good about Hunter.
I feel good about it too.
10.
I feel good about those 10.
He could be higher, but I don't think we're overrating him at 10.
I feel good. And that wasn't the order, but I was just going positionally,
How about
right?
Fannin?
I thought Fannin, but then you get to that last one. I would take everybody that we named over Fannin, but Fannin is probably right on the outside. I'd have Fannin at 11.
Would you take Fannin over Henderson or over any of the guys or Harvey? Because for me, Fannin is a great player,
in a league that values tight ends, yeah. In a league that values tight ends, yes.
But
if it's just like half PPR, probably not.
That's what I'm saying. Like even in a full PPR, we don't value the tight end. Yeah, Fannin's been good, but again, Dylan Gabriel, the Browns, like
AZ,
you want to bet on that situation?
AZ 24K, what are you talking about? What?
Yeah, Loveland's done nothing, man.
No. Is
Woody
Loveland even the best rookie on the Bears? Loveland or Burden?
I would take Burden.
Yeah, no Colston Loveland inside the top 10, man. Come on. Get the fandom out of here. Get the fandom out of here, Jay. But the point is, Gadsden's been incredible, man. Hey, this young tight end he fits the mold of today's new age move tight end, dynamic playmaker, downfield option, Jay. I think those are the top 10. I think those are the top 10.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably your top 10 for sure. Because everyone else, we're kind of waiting to see what they do, and we can kind of reassess this later on. But yeah, like the Woody Marks and the Kyle Monungai and some of these lower tier guys, even Tez Johnson, like you're not going to throw him in the top 10 quite yet, but definitely producing now in terms of fantasy purposes. It's really just how far do you go with Gadsden, because we talked about Tyler Warren as tight end 1 in Dynasty just a few days ago, and we're saying Gadsden is basically the next up behind him. And so how high do you think you'd put him on a list like that? Because, you still got your Trey McBride, you still got, plenty of good tight ends. Even Travis Kelce versus Gadsden is interesting because, why isn't the answer Gadsden? And he's like tight end 6 right now. So I just don't know if there's that many options ahead of him. But the other side is, well, can this keep up? We know there's all these weapons in this Chargers offense. Where are we at on Gadsden, and kind of how would you evaluate him going forward?
I think so, because I've been a big proponent or a big advocate that the distribution of tight end targets, it's a little different than that of receivers, right? Like the receivers, you got 3 of those. And when you're drawing up the plays, you got a primary and then you got your secondary. But when they're drawing up a play for the tight end, it's probably going to Oronde Gadsden. He's not on the field sharing the spotlight with Disley. He's not sharing. Conklin was right there with Quentin Johnston in street clothes after the game. Everybody else in their full uniform, Conklin was ready to go home. Didn't even need a shower after the game. So how high on Gadsden? Give me some names. Would you rather Oronde Gadsden right now? Let me ask you, Gadsden or Dalton Kincaid right now? Dynasty.
I would take Gadsden. Because, so let's start with where Harold Fannin is. So Harold Fannin right now is tight end 7 in Dynasty. He's ahead of George Kittle. He's ahead of Colston Loveland. He's ahead of Dalton Kincaid. He's ahead of Kyle Pitts, right?
God,
so there's a lot of
7?
Yes. A lot of people like Harold Fannin.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I think he's a good player. I think that's way too aggressive. Way too aggressive.
So how do you feel about Gadsden versus a player like Brenton Strange, who actually has been pretty good this
season? Strange is good. I would
take
Gadsden over Brenton Strange.
Yeah, I'm assuming you take him over Mason Taylor.
I would take him over Mason Taylor, absolutely.
How do you feel about Gadsden versus Kyle Pitts?
I like Pitts, but Pitts will never get the shine that he had back in. You know when he was drafted, Jay Rich? You know when he was drafted?
4th overall, ahead of Jamar Chase.
2021, 4 or 5 years ago. No, I would take Gadsden over Pitts, even though Pitts is playing good football right now, though. He's playing really good football.
You take Gadsden over Kincaid as well?
Yes, sir, I would.
Gadsden or Kittle?
How can you not say Gadsden right now? And I don't think that what that doesn't mean is Kittle's a bad player. Kittle's a 30-plus-year-old tight end. The injuries, the way that Dynasty moves, he's a part of a great offense. And Gadsden, I would take him over George Kittle, yes.
Yeah, I think the problem with this conversation today is it shifts the moment Kittle has a good game, right? Because I think we would all take Kittle, especially you and I. We don't play the I want to wait forever for my asset to appreciate. Like, I'll take George Kittle when he's good over Gadsden because he'll probably be good this year. He'll probably be good next year, maybe even the year after that.
But let me, I don't know. It's just 3 straight games of above average tight end usage. It's not a 1 week thing. It's not even it's 3 straight. And he did have another big game inside of there a few weeks prior to that game in week 5, I believe it was. So even if Kittle is on the field playing well, if Gadsden is also on the field playing well, you would rather have him in Dynasty over Kittle. You would. People want your Gadsden. Nobody wants your Kittle.
Well, I don't know if that's necessarily true because this week we may see Kittle get going. It was just he came back and he didn't do anything, so people are kind of maybe a little bit lower on him.
Let me ask you this. Kittle goes out there this week. He has 8 catches, 75 yards, and a touchdown. Okay? Great week.
Kittle.
Tight end one. I don't think there's a soul in Dynasty who would trade their Gadsden to go get Kittle, even with that performance. And that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
I agree. People aren't going to want to take him, but I would still take Kittle.
Okay.
Like just because again, it's
Tucker Kraft or Gadsden.
The number one.
Tucker Kraft or Gadsden.
I'd probably rather bet on Kraft. Right? So if Jake Ferguson or Gadsden.
I would take Gadsden over Jake Ferg.
Right? But at the same time, Ferg has also been very good this season. He's going to probably produce the rest of the year.
He's catching fall. He's catching fall.
He's been
it's catching fall is the same as touch and bust.
Jake Ferg is
touch and bust, catch and fall. I'm good on that. You got to last a little longer.
Kraft?
Huh?
Where are you at with him versus Kraft?
I like Kraft.
Because that's tight end 4, man.
I like Kraft a lot, man. I like Kraft a lot.
Basically the number 2 in the offense.
I like Kraft a lot. I'd probably still roll with Kraft. I would still put it this way. I would pick Kraft, but I don't think I'd be trading my Gadsden plus to pivot into Kraft. Like I'm not adding to Gadsden to go get Kraft. But one for one, they're both on the clock. I would take Tucker Kraft.
Gadsden or LaPorta?
LaPorta.
So you have him at tight end 6.
Yeah,
basically.
I think that's appropriate.
Bowers, McBride, Warren, Kraft, LaPorta, Gadsden. Jake Ferg.
Crazy how quick. It's crazy how
Kittle,
quick.
Loveland, Kincaid.
It's crazy how quick that value in quotes flips. That's why I don't believe in value in Dynasty. I just don't. I don't subscribe to the value. Where was Gadsden at 3 weeks ago?
I mean, he's still at tight end 21 on KTC.
It's all relative to the week. You know what I'm saying? It's all relative to the week, man.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm that bullish, but definitely the Fannin love is kind of crazy. And I understand people like Fannin and they say, oh, well, he'd be better with a better QB. It's like, well, if he had a better QB, he's probably not throwing to the tight end 50% of the time like all the QBs have done this season in Cleveland, right? Like they have receivers. They just can't get them the ball. And so it's just, I understand where people are coming from, but it's just, I don't know if I can quite buy into that Fannin usage.
I like Conj's comment right here. Friday shows it for the people, man. Friday shows it for the people. So I'm really engaged with the chat today, Jay. I kind of like this take. Conja says, shout out to Conja, one of the members of the DD Fantasy Football community. Shout out to the Heisman member, Conja. He said, Gadsden has this Puka feeling. You need the conviction. And I think that's what it is. If you are looking at this situation, you're like, man, this is an elite level athlete playing a different role at this position that is just, and the beautiful thing about Gadsden, okay? The beautiful thing about him in this role is I highly doubt, because they have other weapons on the field that are dangerous, that are good, I highly doubt he's ever going to get bracket coverage. Like, you're just probably not doing that right now. Not with a healthy Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston, Trey Harris now in the fold, a running game, Justin Herbert's threat to run the ball, and then, Ladarius McConkey out there. So he's one-on-one. So if you have the conviction that, man, he's a part of a great offense, we always talk about that. He's got an amazing role. 3 weeks in a row, like, I'm going to bet. I think you just make the play. And you could be, people said the same shit about Trey McBride a couple of years ago. I don't know. But if you were convicted, now you got a top 2 dynasty tight end. So I kind of like this take by Conja, man. He's got that. If you've got the conviction, I think you're okay. If you want to say, I got him over Tucker Kraft, I'm going to make the bet that this continues in this offense, I'm not going to knock you for that, man.
Yeah, it's an interesting debate because I think at this point you have to have the conviction to even have him on your roster, right? Because no one's trading him for. It'd probably take a lot to get him at this point, but yeah, it's the conviction of the offense, and I think for a lot of people, it's managing the probable ups and downs within this offense. But if you have pieces of this offense, you're gonna end up in a good spot because we've had the McConkey highs and lows. We now had the Quentin Johnston highs and lows. Keenan's been kind of the most consistent guy, but even the last couple of weeks, he's been losing some targets. And then you talk about even Harbaugh's comments after the game. On the Ladd touchdown, they were doubling Oronde Gadsden, which is insane. A rookie tight end basically playing like his
and then what happens? You get toasted by Okuda gets just smoked off the line. Barbecue chicken. And
by a wide receiver who had 12.
Conja didn't say he is Puka. Nobody said he's it. He said he's got this feeling, right? And the feeling that he's like that he could be really good. That's what it is, right? Because everybody's talking that shit about Puka now. It took 2 years for people to buy in. So spare me the I knew from day one Puka was going to be good. No, you didn't. You did not, and you didn't believe it. The same way people didn't believe it with Amon-Ra. It's having that conviction, because the conversation, Jay, that we were having around Puka during that time, what did we talk about on the show? Can it maintain? Is he going to keep getting the targets? Will it continue? And there was a large contingency of folks who said, ain't no way. Once Cooper Kupp is back, he's going to eat his lunch, and then he's going to go back to being a 5th-round pick. But there were some folks who had the conviction like, man, it's a good situation. It's a good offense. He's got a great role. I'm going to buy in. Right? That's what he's talking about. Not Oronde Gadsden is Puka Nacua. Come on, man. Too early for foolishness. Ain't nobody talking about that. It's the feeling that that player elicits when you see the role and the space in which they occupy on that team. And it does feel like you could have a really, really, really game-changing dynamic tight end in an offense led by a quarterback that's one of the best in the game. A team that wants to throw the ball. A team that's efficient. A team that's down offensive linemen and still putting up 37 points. So if you have the conviction that this player is going to significantly outkick the shit that you're getting from Dalton Kincaid on a week-to-week basis, Jake Ferguson on a week-to-week, year-to-year basis, then I've got no problem with doubling down on that conviction, because personally, I think he's really damn good. I think he's really good, and I think his talent combined with the situation is the perfect storm for fantasy football success. But Jay Rich, where you want to go next, man? Where you want to talk about anything with Minnesota? JJ McCarthy back? You excited?
Ray, I'm a little bit nervous, honestly, for JJ.
Are you?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he's going to Detroit. I just don't think it's a great environment for him. Like, I think he's going to be, I mean, look at just how much Baker struggled. It was probably the worst we've seen Baker all season long. I don't think he'll be booed, because obviously he's like a Michigan legend. But it's interesting that this is the spot. They say, yeah, let's get our quarterback who's been injured, who, you know, has been so injured we can't play him, even though our starting quarterback is clearly injured and can't play to his full capacity either. And we're going to send him out against arguably the best team in the NFC on the road, where we just saw a potential MVP candidate not be able to hear, not be able to communicate with his offensive line, with his receivers, and really struggle in a game. So I just think at this point, you know, if you're looking at situations across the league, I don't necessarily want to put my rookie quarterback in Detroit right now, because that place has clearly been a difficult place to play. And to see Baker look like that, to now see what JJ may look like in that environment, maybe he's ready for it. He can be a big-time player at times, but it's definitely a tough spot for sure.
Man, Wentz was so beat up, man. Wentz was looking bad out there, man. And I
feel bad for Wentz a little bit.
I don't know the status of the offensive line, but here's one thing. If that Minnesota defense played like that versus the Chargers and they don't fix it, Detroit's going to light them up. Detroit's going to light them up.
Yeah, imagine what Hutchinson would do to that defense, right? Khalil Mack is getting pressure like crazy off the edge. What would Hutchinson do to this team? And even going in, Ray, what's crazy is I didn't even know this until I was doing some research for our BR show, but the Minnesota Vikings have actually had more offensive line combinations than the LA Chargers. And we know how injured the Chargers' offensive line has been throughout this season. But yeah, Minnesota's offensive line has actually been more injured, and they've had more offensive line combinations than the Chargers even have, which is kind of crazy when you think about it.
No bueno. No bueno. All right, Jay Rich. Let's talk about my Dallas Cowboys, Jay Rich. Let's talk about these Dallas Cowboys traveling to Denver, Jay Rich. They ain't won against the Broncos. Since when, Jay Rich?
You said it was 1970?
1995 was the last time the Dallas Cowboys beat the Denver Broncos. Do you know when the last time they beat the Denver Broncos in Denver?
That was when I was even older, right? It was like 1980.
92. 92 was the last time Dallas beat Denver in Denver, Jay Rich. So how old were you in 92?
I was still sitting in my father's nutsack, right?
You weren't even born the last time they got it done in Denver. This one, I think, is going to be a lot of fantasy points. I'm excited for this game. I'm excited for.
Okay.
Again, I know going into the season, like, there's no defense that just terrifies me in the NFL. I think good offenses can beat good defenses. I just do. The way the rules are set up, the game is much different. It's not the 2000 Baltimore Ravens. This ain't the 85 Bears. This ain't the Steel Curtain. This ain't the Purple People Eaters. This is just 2025 flag football touch NFL. Can't touch the receivers. Can't hit them high. Can't hit them low. You got to hug and drop them down. I think Bo Nix and Dak Prescott can put on a show, and I did write about it on my Yahoo article piece. I think this is a matchup where Bo Nix can repeat as the QB1 on the week versus this Dallas defense. He's got the opportunity.
He certainly does.
And the thing is, Dallas is going to put up points. I am not afraid of this Denver Broncos defense. I think you can throw at Surtain. You can throw at Riley Moss. You may want to throw at Moss more than Surtain, but I think you could throw at this defense. You can run on this defense. Dallas has got a balanced attack. They got the best offense in the NFL. What do you expect from Denver? That's the real, what Denver Broncos team is going to show up? The team that establishes on the ground, making things easy for Bo Nix, or do they come out the gate trying to fire, get up on Dallas early, put pressure on the Cowboys, or do they try to play keep away? They're not dumb. They know this offense is good. How do you think this game plan and flow plays out in this matchup?
I think they do try and run the football a little bit more in this game because the one thing that the Cowboys actually do well, statistically at least, even though it hasn't converted to sacks, is they have the number 2 pressure rate in the NFL at 30%.
Yes.
And the Broncos are the only team higher than them at 33%. So you're talking about 2 teams that generate a ton of pressure in this game. And I think that Bo Nix under pressure this season has definitely been a problem. So the only way to mitigate that pressure is to run the football effectively. And I think J.K. Dobbins can do that against this defense. Now, the run defense for the Cowboys has been a little bit better and continues to get stronger week by week. But I do think that Denver's offensive line can play well enough to ultimately kind of control the ball a little bit, hold on to the football, keep the ball out of Dak Prescott's hands. But we still need Bo Nix to play well in this game. And that's why Bo Nix is ultimately going to be the X factor no matter what. Because if he's passing the ball effectively, if he can move the chains consistently, then this can be a real football game. But if he can't, we may have a situation where the Denver Broncos are down, multiple touchdowns early in the game, and then they're fighting to come back, and we'll see if they ultimately can. But they're not playing the Giants this week. They're playing the Cowboys. But I do want your thoughts on Pickens and Lamb, right? And how you think this defense may operate. Because do you see a world where maybe they just put Surtain on Pickens, potentially, on the outside, if Pickens is predominantly on the outside anyways, and they kind of just let CeeDee Lamb do his thing over the middle and they just double him, while allowing Surtain to kind of handle Pickens the best he can?
Wouldn't you want to put Surtain on the best offensive weapon from Dallas and not?
But I think it's also a sign of respect, right? If you put Riley Moss on Pickens, we kind of saw with T. Higgins what's going to happen. Right? And he's going to have a big game because he's just too small to go against a bigger receiver like that. But maybe Moss could find more success with help against a Lamb, or at least you're able to control what the offense is doing a bit more in that aspect. So it's not, again, you can't stop them both, but maybe you can mitigate some of the big plays by having Moss more inside than outside against Pickens.
I think CeeDee Lamb would have him in a blender, an absolute blender. So
but what
if they're going to do that,
more, do you think?
If you're going to do that, to your point, if they do that, and then they allocate another defender to CeeDee Lamb, bracket coverage, somebody over the top,
right?
Then you go 1-on-1 on the outside with Surtain and Pickens. Your boy is activated. Your boy Jonathan Mingo. I think he's playing in this game. That's your boy. You pumped up that Mingo for years. I think they're adding him back to the fold. So no fantasy implications, but another option out there for Dak Prescott to throw the ball. I think the best thing working in Dallas's favor, I did pick the Cowboys to win this game, is I think they can run the ball on Denver. I do believe Dallas will be able to run the ball. Kind of a mini revenge game for Javonte Williams.
It's a revenge game of
You think it's a revenge game for Javonte? Talk about it.
They kicked him out of Denver as quick as they could. Did they ever? Payton's talking about how Payton's talking mid-season about how they need to find new running backs. And they had this guy who's currently outproducing their starter on the season.
And backup. Backup.
You know what I'm saying? Well, and the second round pick.
It's a little bit of a Javonte revenge game, Jay Rich. People say, I will forgive, but never forget Jay Rich on Mingo. It's all good, Jay. We all got him. Old Fantasy Receipts sent me a DM last night that said, I got this one in the chamber as soon as the Commanders released Treylon Burks, and I just gave him a big F you, man. They said they got one in the chamber for old GQ, one of them Treylon Burks takes. That was a different time, Jay Rich. That was a different time. But, I think Javonte Williams is going to be able to find success against Denver. I'm not hopeful for anything from RJ Harvey. I think it's going to be a large dose of J.K. Dobbins. Even though Harvey has been involved in the passing game, I think the difference is this, man. I don't know. I thought Denver threw the ball to the running backs. They don't throw them. They don't throw the ball to the backs anymore. I don't know if that was rookie year Bo. I don't know if something's going on with Bo this year, but they're not targeting the running back as frequently as we at least are accustomed to in the past. Talked about how Javonte Williams, top 3 in routes, number 1 leader in routes run from the running back position last year. I don't know where Harvey and J.K. Dobbins rank, but it seems like when stuff breaks down for Denver offensively, Bo Nix is just going to run the ball. Like, he's just going to tuck it and run. Like, I'm just getting the hell up out of here, unless it's a design play to the running back. So I just don't have high hopes for R.J. Harvey in this one at all.
Yeah, so to your point about the running backs, 20 targets for Harvey, 14 for Bidet, and 10 for Dobbins. But you have 31 for Mims, 33 for Engram, 46 for Troy Franklin.
Yeah, Franklin's getting fed, man.
And 50 for Cortland Sutton. So for the most part, it's a lot of Sutton because that conversion rate with Franklin just isn't very high right now. But then Evan Engram kind of being involved in the offense maybe has taken away some of those targets that may have gone to the running back. Less screens to him and more like short dump offs to Engram instead.
That Joker?
Ray, who is the Joker on this offense? Have we found him yet? We still looking for him?
The Joker is all of us that thought it was actually somebody on the offense that was going to play that role. There is no Joker. Do you believe that? I don't think there is a Joker.
Maybe the Joker is Sean Payton.
The Joker might be Sean Payton. It might. The joke is on all of us because I don't think it's any player on that field playing like what we thought the Joker would be. So I think Dallas gets it done. Denver 5-2 on the season. Again, Dallas ain't won in Denver since 1992. So history is not on their side, but this offense is high flying. Starting, like, there's nobody to talk about. You know who to start from Dallas. You're starting the big 3 pass catchers, Ferg, Pickens, and Lamb. You're starting Javonte Williams, and you're firing up Dak Prescott. Bigger question, Jay Rich, is what do we do in this matchup? Because I asked you before the show, are we sure Lamar is going to play? And you were like, nope, don't know, Ray. Don't know if Lamar is going to play. But the Ravens are 6.5-point favorites with a 49.5 point total, 6.5-point favorites, and his offense and defense stinks. How many points do I think the Ravens are about to put up? I know this Bears defense ain't no good, but if Lamar's out there, is this something that you'd be willing to take the points right now because Lamar is not confirmed? I don't think he's going to play. I don't think he's going to play, Jay Rich. Personally, I don't think he's going to play. You think he's in, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're favored by 6.5 points against the Bears. The books thinks he's going to play, right? Like,
hey, I don't Hey, you trust them books right now? A lot of stuff going on with these books. You trust these books right now?
It ain't the book's fault. it's the people within the organizations that are disseminating the information.
They're leaking that Lamar news out. They're sprinkling some of that. Hey, he's gonna be out there. He's looking good in practice.
Hey man, I'm sure these books got a lot of money.
Him and Equinemius St. Brown leaking shit constantly. Just leak. Just another story for another day.
Ravens projected for 27.5 points to the Bears 21.5. Right? So I hear you. If you really wanted to take a shot on the Bears plus 6.5, that's fine. But I think the problem is if Lamar plays, you're like, oh shit, that's probably not a great bet. And maybe they'll be all right. But yeah, it's really just like if you want to bet on that Chicago side now, I personally am not going to do it because I do think the Ravens could still blow out the Bears, especially at home. In that Lamar return, they're wearing the all blacks. Like the fans are going to be hyped for the game. And more importantly, like I told you when we did the BR piece, like the Ravens have to win. And I think that desperation factor, like it reminds me a lot of last season. You remember last season when at home they lost to the Raiders, right? They had that brutal loss to the Raiders. Everyone thought they would win. They were favored by like 10.5 points over the Raiders, and they lost. And then the next week they had to play Buffalo at home, and that was the game they beat Buffalo by like 30 points, right? And it wasn't a must-win, but it was a must-win in the sense that like it was a get-right game. They had to win this game against Buffalo. It was a big game. And so I get the same type of vibes with Chicago coming into town, having won 4 straight, Ben Johnston looking good, the offense kind of sputtering, but playing well enough football to win games. I think they can compete in this game, but I think ultimately Baltimore's going to win, and they may actually win big.
D-Bro in the chat. Shout out to my dog D-Bro. What's going down with you, man? Jay, I hate this setting because we've gotten to know people by their freaking name, not their @ so I don't know who SF Milkman 53 is. Caleb is really bad. Caleb has been awful post-bye, Jay Rich. He has been one of the worst quarterbacks since the Bears came out of the bye. Going into the bye, he was playing good football. Coming out of the bye, the leading receiver in both games was Luther Burden, 4 catches, 50 yards. Rome Odunze, back-to-back 2-catch games. DJ Moore, back-to-back 3-catch games. It has been a disaster coming out of the bye.
Yeah.
They're 4-2. They can run the ball really well. And I believe, even though the defense stinks, they either get pressure a lot. There's some defensive statistic where they're not bad at it. There's one of them where they're not. The Bears, yeah, the Chicago Bears. There's one of them that I was looking at.
They have a lot of takeaways. Is the big thing with the Bears?
Is it the takeaways?
They're
where
number
are we
one
at
turnover
with,
differential on the season. The Bears are.
Where are we at? Golly, isn't it? Again, Jay, this is why for me, the term dynasty value it doesn't mean anything, right? When did we last do that damn re-ranking the 2024 quarterbacks? A few weeks ago? We doing it.
Yeah.
This class is fast. It was 3 weeks ago we did that, right? Caleb was still at that point in time. I think he was top 3. He was still inside the top 3.
I think I had him at 4.
I don't think you took McCarthy or Penix over Caleb Williams. I think
didn't,
you had him.
but I think I took Bo over him.
Okay, well maybe you took Bo over him.
It was
If
Caleb
he
or Bo.
stinks it up in this one, Lamar or not, this defense is still awful. One of the worst defenses in the NFL. And I don't believe the bye has changed that for Baltimore.
Yeah.
Where are we going to be at with Caleb Williams? We're about a year and a half. We're about a year and a half through his NFL career. And we always say it takes a couple of years for you to really put your stamp on a player. And is the player good? Is who he's going to be? Is he just going to be like a Trevor Lawrence? He's fine, but not great. I don't think he is like Josh Rosen, right? He ain't a bust. He's not.
For sure.
He's not the worst quarterback. He's not getting benched. But is he trending down like the T-Law, Tua, like they're fine, like he's fine. He's fine, but not. Like, is he trending down that path? Because I asked our community yesterday, Jay Rich, if I just off the rip, don't think about it. If you were in a startup draft right now and you needed a quarterback, it's super flex, the format, and your decisions were Jaden Daniels or Drake Maye, which quarterback would you take right now today?
It's Drake Maye. It's just because Jaden's hurt, but it's Drake Maye.
Look how quickly that shifted, right?
Yeah.
Right now, Penix hasn't.
Penix looks like a dependent quarterback.
He
fine.
Doesn't
look like a truck.
I'm trying to be nice on a Friday. He's fine. Okay. JJ McCarthy.
Haven't seen him.
I don't even know. I honestly, the longer it goes on, the more I'm like, come on, dude. Like I just want to see him play. He's played one good quarter. Give a shit about his comeback. He's played one good quarter of football.
It's the same way, Ray, and I'm not trying to make a comparison, but it reminds me of Anthony Richardson when we're like, well, he just hasn't played enough football. And it's like, at some point, you got to play. Like, at some point, you got to play.
He's got
right?
Detroit. So I don't know where byproduct, I'd have to have Dan McCarthy dead last, right? He hasn't played.
Just
in a year and a half, he ain't played no football. Bo Nix, people hate him, but he's got the potential to score QB1 points on the week right now. Like, where is Caleb headed to if he can't get it done versus Baltimore? Because people are gonna be on his ass, and this is a road game. Lamar,
it'll be a tough game.
It's gonna be tough with Lamar on the field. They're gonna be able to put up some points. I think Henry. I'm not buying that Henry's cooked, man. There's no way Derrick Henry is done. He looked great in week 1. Offensive line stinks. They get negative game script.
You're going back to week 1.
But shit, that's all I got to hold on to. They get the ball.
Game, he had 122,
they get the ball.
Right, didn't he?
There have been 2 games where they had the ball at the goal line. We're not even gonna give it to Derrick Henry. We're gonna try to do some other. We're gonna throw it to the left tackle. We're gonna do some different plays. Right? What are we doing? Hand the ball to 22. So I don't believe Henry is done. But back to Caleb. What is this? Is this a game that he needs to get done and look well? Because he's looked like shit post-bye.
I wouldn't say it's a game that he has to look good, because I think the problem is that people are kind of confusing is that there's a difference between what we want Caleb to do and what Ben Johnson wants Caleb to do, right? He hasn't looked good, and I would openly admit that. I'm sure Ben Johnson would say the same thing. But for me, still, when I watch Caleb play, there's 2 things that stand out. He still looks like he could be a top quarterback in the NFL. Like, the skill set that you see in those isolated moments. And to your point, they're too isolated. They're too few and far between. But he still looks like he's got potential to be a very good quarterback. And I'm hoping, at least if I have Caleb right now, which I don't have any shares of Caleb, I'm hoping Ben Johnston is slowly developing him week by week, right? The first couple weeks, it was like gangbusters. He was doing whatever he wanted. He was throwing the ball all over the yard. The bye came out, and he's like, hey, Caleb, slow it down. Chill out. Let's focus on the running game. The rushing attack gets going. Then we'll slowly start develop play action, and then slowly the offense will get better and better and better. But to your point, there's a reason why Jared Goff is QB 17 right now on KTC. And he still throws 40 touchdowns a year. He plays in one of the best offenses in the NFL, but nobody really wants that guy. And so it's, are you willing to wait and potentially have a quarterback who can operate in the top 12 on a year-by-year basis? Or do you want to try and cash out while his value is a little bit depressed? Because I do think it may take some time, and I think Ben Johnston can develop this Bears offense to be a very good offense with Caleb at the helm, but I don't know if it's going to come soon enough to where his value is retained as a top 10 option while he's still young and people still want him while he's very desirable.
This is, I'm reading the chat, man. I want to go through a couple of these, Jay. I want to go through a couple of these comments in the chat and just get your thoughts on these takes, okay? There's some really interesting stuff in here, okay? This one from Mark H7457. Can we recognize that maybe the QBs that don't eat, sleep, and breathe football, Kyler, Caleb, T-Law, will never reach their full potential? What do you think about that?
I think it's unfair to just put those guys in a bucket. Like, it feels like a targeted bucket because we kind of know. I mean, T-Law, I wouldn't even put him in that bucket, but people don't like Kyler. People don't like Caleb, right? And we don't know truly how much these guys work and what they do in their side time and all these things. But
hindsight 2020. What did we get wrong about the 2021 QB class? What was different about the 2024 QBs going into rookie drafts? What did we get wrong? So 21, for those of y'all who don't remember, it was Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Mac Jones. I think that was the order. I feel like I'm missing one.
Yeah, Fields and Jones. Yeah, that's it. Those are the main guys.
It was those four quarterbacks.
Five quarterbacks,
Fields and Jones.
Yeah, so Ellinger, Book, Mills, Mon.
No,
Trask,
I'm just talking about. We're just talking about the top guys.
Just the main. Yeah, those are the only guys.
Here's the thing. I don't think. Listen, a lot of with quarterback, you bet on the draft capital, right? First round quarterback, they're going to get an opportunity. Second round quarterback, they're probably going to get an opportunity. I don't know if there's anything that was wrong going in, because you know what? Nobody on this stream, Jay Rich, made the damn pick. We ain't coaching the player. We're not on the field. We're not in the meeting room. So we're trusting the information that the teams present to us, all right? So I don't think anybody going into it. Now, sure, there are evaluators that said, I don't like Zach Wilson. I love Trevor Lawrence. I hate Justin Fields. I love Mac Jones. I don't like, sure, you'll have that. But by and large, those were the top 15 picks. So you're going to draft them. I think the bigger thing is everybody preaches patience. But at what point, dude, do you see something and you're like, this just isn't it? Like, I'm not in this game that we play, right? Let's separate what we do versus what the team is doing. The team can be patient, Jay Rich. The team can be patient. They see what's going on. They got contract. They've got them under their wing for 4 or 5 years. We're not afforded that same level of just patience. You can do that. Sure. If you want to ride out a quarterback for 3 years for something to happen, great. But normally, look at all the quarterbacks that got discarded that come back to the fold later on. 9 times out of 10, you could just get them later. You don't have to wait. I don't give a shit that you drafted J.J. McCarthy with your first-round rookie pick. You know how many times you could have bought him over and sold him between his rookie year and right now? 100 times over. So it's when do you see enough to say I'm good? And for me, a lot of times it's the situation. When the situation looks like crap, I just don't want any part of it. Unless that QB is shown to be a true truck, not a trailer, I don't want any part of it. You know why Brock Purdy was partly successful? I don't believe that because he was Mr. Irrelevant, he had this supreme talent over everybody else, but man, he landed in a damn good situation. What would have happened had Mac Jones been selected by San Francisco in the spot that they took Trey Lance, right? And they didn't fall into Brock Purdy. I think a lot of times for me, personally, it's evaluating or trying to evaluate the situation in which the player currently sits in. And that does matter. Like, it does matter. Sure. It does matter.
Yeah, I mean, that class was tough because everyone loved Fields, right? And we kind of knew he was okay as a passer. Lawrence was obviously the crown jewel. Trey Lance, inexperienced, especially at a high level. Zach Wilson, 1 year of production. Mac Jones was basically 1 year of production as well at Alabama, even though it was a very productive, undefeated season for the Crimson Tide. But that's all hindsight, right? They're top picks. When you look at even Mac Jones, like, you'd say, yeah, sure, it's Belichick, but he still had McDaniels at the time, and he actually was great as a rookie. Now you're seeing McDaniels with Drake Maye, and what do you know? He's been great in his second season, right? Lance was always a wild card. Zach Wilson, we kind of already knew because of the Jets. But to your point, I think when you get that draft capital, you're willing to take the shot because you know that team has to invest in that quarterback. Right? There is no, oh yeah, we'll see if he's good because he's, the 20th pick, or Will Levis in Tennessee, where it's like, he's only a second rounder, so we're just going to see what he's got. And if he's bad, we'll move on to the next guy the following season. With those top picks, like, these teams have to invest in these guys. They have to play them, and we have to see where they end up. And so at least for us in fantasy, we get some security to know this guy's going to have a longer leash and a longer shot, and that's what we always talk about. But with the case of Caleb, right? I understand if you want to just sell out of him right now because he's not looking the way he looked for the first 3 weeks of the season. But at least for me, if I had him on my team, I'd be willing to bet on what the upside could be and just kind of see what happens. Because if people are going to sell off Caleb, the bet was never on Caleb Williams. The bet, at least for me, was always on Ben Johnson. And I do think Ben Johnson is doing a pretty good job. I've been very critical of Ben Johnson in the offseason. I think he talks too much about his players, especially negatively about his players at the press conferences. But I do think when you watch the way that he is coaching this team and developing this offense, he's doing a very good job. They went from a team that could not run the football a few weeks ago to now we're saying, man, we may be able to flex Kyle Monangai, who is the backup running back for this Bears team. That is a drastic difference in the span of only 8 weeks of an NFL season, right? And if you develop that running game, you can develop play action, which we know he's very good at in terms of scheming up and scheming open plays. And at that point, you may see a very, very good offense. But that doesn't mean you're going to have a valuable Caleb Williams. And it's whether or not you're willing to see that play out or you want to cash out now for whatever you can.
Jets have Garrett Wilson and 2 young and elite-looking tackles. Do we trust that situation in 26?
Nope.
Does it depend on who the head coach is for you?
A little bit.
Because they're going to draft Fernando Mendoza. Like, he's going to be the number 1 overall pick.
And the question is like, Ray, who is that guy right now? And I think the answer is we don't know. That can turn around the Jets.
I'm gonna just throw some. I'm gonna throw some retread names out there. Cliff Kingsbury.
Nope. Like, the other option is like maybe Wes Phillips, who is the OC in Minnesota. He's Wade's son. But again, Kevin O'Connell hire. I don't know who the OC is in LA right now. Right? I'm sure Tampa's OC is getting some looks,
I'm
right?
Sure Tampa's OC.
It's Jonathan Grenard, I think is the name.
Grenard.
I'm sure he's doing a great job.
I'm sure he's getting some love. Yeah.
Right? So, like,
they were talking about Jesse Minter, the Chargers, DC getting some love. I don't think you need to go. I don't want a defensive. If they're going to take a quarterback number 1, if they're going to take a quarterback number 1, you better get an offensive coach.
I'm done on DCs. Done.
Man,
Aaron Glenn's the last one, bro. There's no more DCs.
I've seen some NFL players talk about defensive-minded head coaches that they just kind of look at the offenses like we're focused on the defense. The offense just needs to get by. I do not want the Jets. I don't really care because I'm not a fan of them. But for fantasy, right, if they're going to take Mendoza number 1 overall, which he should be projected to be the top quarterback off of the board, I'm still not sure Dante Moore is coming out. Jason probably, like, he's good, but I would like for Dante Moore to stay at Oregon. If it's Fernando Mendoza, like, I don't want some damn defensive head coach working with him. Like, I don't. Yeah. Get an offensive-minded play caller. Get somebody that's got some creativity. I don't want to see that, Jay.
Yeah, Ty Simpson projected first overall right now, but Mendoza is number 2. Simpson, Mendoza, Sellers, Moore as your top.
There's no way on God's green earth Lenore Sellers can declare. I like the there's just no way. He leads. I'm almost positive he leads the country in sack percentage, and it's not all his fault, but it's what's happening. Right? South Carolina is a dump. Absolute dump. I think he needs to transfer. Get Sellers out of there. I'm not projecting him to be no damn.
Could he go to Miami?
Maybe. Get Sellers to Miami. Get Sellers there. Get somebody else there. But and Ty Simpson, I like him. 6 career starts. I don't know.
Yeah, Lenore Sellers, second in college football in sacks, only behind Jackson Arnold.
Yeah, not happening, Jay Rich. All right, let's get to another game. Where else you want to talk about? What other? So that's an interesting conversation around quarterbacks and just reading the chat. Who is willing to wait? Who's just like I don't want to wait. You know, me selling Caleb Williams, I would not do that personally. I don't give a shit about winning games for the Bears, right? Can he score some fantasy points? And I think I saw somebody, I don't know who these names are. I'm trying to look at the pictures. I know, like, I just don't like this, but I saw somebody say if Caleb Williams sucks, so does Bo Nix, because all of his stuff is better than Bo Nix's. So I'm not out on Caleb. And yeah, Jason is saying Sellers not even playing quarterback, just running for his life. Sellers ain't declaring. I agree, Scribbles. Lenore Sellers' offensive line sucks, but he has some of those Fields tendencies. Yeah, sacks are something I'm really kind of watching this year. Which quarterbacks are getting sacked left and right, and who is not. Let's talk about where do you want to go, Jay Rich? Giants Eagles. We got to talk Giants Eagles, man.
We can do it. We got to
talk Giants
exciting
Eagles,
whites, right?
Because nobody gave the Giants a chance last time. Just 2 weeks ago they played Philadelphia. 2 weeks ago they played Philadelphia. No one gave them a chance, and not only did they beat them, they put belt to ass versus Philadelphia. My goodness. Scatterboo, Jackson Dart going crazy. Now, in that game, no Quinyon Mitchell. Jalen Carter was out, heel injury. Didn't know that till prior to the game. And Saquon didn't do a damn thing. A.J. Brown is still feeling some type of way. Did you see the tweet? Used but unused.
I didn't actually see the tweet.
You didn't see the tweet.
You've been quoting it. Yeah,
all he said was used but unused, not used. Howie Roseman trying to dap him up after 121 yards, 2 touchdowns. A.J. Brown, stone face. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, appreciate it, man. 121 yards, 2 T's. Shit, man, I'm good.
Well.
Used but unused.
Smitty outproducing him, man.
What happens in the game? Did the Giants get it done again?
No. The question, honestly, is does he even play?
Who?
You know he's not practicing.
Dart?
A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown.
What is up with that? I thought you were talking about Dart. I'm like, what happened with Dart?
He's got a hamstring injury. He hasn't practiced yet this week.
When did that happen? When he just walked off, he looked just fine walking off. When did that happen?
I don't know. Maybe when he made that tweet. Used but unused. Yeah, I didn't practice Wednesday or Thursday. Not that we really care. If he plays, you start him. If he doesn't, then, well, hopefully you have someone else to play. But yeah, I think the biggest thing, and we talked about this on BR, is the Eagles found their passing game, which they desperately needed to find their passing game. And Jalen Hurts obviously found that with both A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. So it's can they then exploit the pass defense of the Giants? And more importantly, can they finally get Saquon Barkley going? I think that this team is good enough to make it happen. I do think, to your point, 7.5 spread, it may be closer than that because the Giants, for whatever reason, played them really well the first time. I'm not sure if you saw Vic Fangio at the podium talking about Jackson Dart, saying how some teams made some mistakes passing on this kid, and he thinks he's actually pretty good and he's tough to stop. But they do have a better complement of defenders, especially some of their better defenders playing in this game, and probably will be just fine. I think this Philly defense will play up to this game. I think the crowd's going to be a big factor here for Dart on the road. And I do think it's going to be a big game for this team. That they can't take the Giants for granted anymore. And I brought up to you that the Giants haven't swept the Eagles since all the way back in 2007.
That was the year they won the Super Bowl, right? That was the year they won the Super Bowl.
Maybe.
I think so, because I think 2007 was the year the Patriots went.
Yes, yeah, 18-1. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. That was the last time they
won the game 34-17, Jay. 34-17. It wasn't like they squeaked a victory by.
Yeah. I mean, Philly looked really bad in that game.
They looked
really bad.
They look real bad.
And so I think it's just at this point they know that they can't look like that again. And so they will try hard a little bit in this one. We'll see. Maybe truly the Giants are a great matchup for Philly, and it's just not great. But Scatterboo will be fun.
It said the Eagles defense having nightmares about Scatterboo right now. Having nightmares.
Yeah.
D-Bro, you think A.J. Brown's out? For real?
Man, he's not practiced. He may not play. Then you got yourself a ball game. Because if it's just Smitty, I think you can take him out of the game to some extent.
Would you pick up John Mechie? Like, would you pick him up?
Hell no.
Okay.
Hell no. It just becomes, then it's Smitty, it's Goddard, and probably some Barkley out of the backfield. Maybe some Dodson, but I'm never betting on Dodson.
Man, dude.
Yeah.
I saw he didn't practice on Wednesday, and I just assumed that was just he didn't feel like practicing.
But yeah, he didn't practice yesterday either. Like full DMP, not limited or anything. So
hamstring, right?
Yeah, hammy. So it's a legit injury.
I guess he heard it on those 4 passes he caught. That's why he was pissed. So where else you want to go, Jay Rich? Where else you want to go? We're not talking Tennessee, Indy. Let me give some Cam Ward hopium out here, Jay Rich. We were doing some research.
Stat.
Let me give you guys. Is this a great stat? Let me do some trivia here. Let me pull up. Let me do some wake up trivia for y'all to see who's going to be able to get this one, Jay Rich. Here's the question. Okay, we're talking Tennessee, Indianapolis. All right.
Woo.
Cam Ward, the number 1 overall pick from 2025, has just 4 passing touchdowns through 7 weeks of the NFL season, Jay Rich. The fewest amongst quarterbacks with more than 5 starts, so he's been awful. Since 1970, Jay Rich, only 3 quarterbacks selected number 1 overall had fewer passing touchdowns in their first 7 career starts. If anybody in the chat can name those quarterbacks, I'll give you a lifetime membership to the squad. You just get it free. You'll get the company pass, and you come join in. You can use the Trinity. You got to answer a question right now. You got 2 minutes to answer, Jay Rich. Since 1970, only 3 quarterbacks selected number 1 overall have had fewer passing touchdowns in their first 7 career starts. Let me know when y'all need a lifeline, because nobody will get it. Nobody will get it. ChatGPT can't work that fast enough. Can't work that fast enough. Wake up trivia, Jay Rich. I'll give you a hint.
It's a great stat, though.
2 quarterbacks who have had fewer passing touchdowns selected number 1 overall are Hall of Famers. So there's Cam Ward's in good company, right? He might be a Hall of Famer.
You never know. It might be a Hall
One
of
of the quarterbacks, Jay Rich, was pretty damn good. He was pretty good, and he preceded probably the best quarterback of this like new generation. This new generation of quarterback. Probably the best quarterback of this new generation. Peyton Manning is not an answer. Ryan Leaf, not an answer.
Yeah, Peyton Manning was my guess.
2 of them are Hall of Famers, and 1 of them was really, really good. Is it a Colts and a Titans? They are not Colts and Titans players. We got 1. Butterbean got 1. Terry Bradshaw is one of them.
Terry Bradshaw's stats are horrendous. They're so bad.
They are bad.
Yeah, if you ever look up Terry Bradshaw's stats, you'll be so disappointed.
He's in there for winning games. This is a
Hall of Fame quarterback who won 4 Super Bowls.
He won 4 Super Bowls. Yep.
He's awful.
Bart Starr. Nope. Not Peyton Manning. Nope. We got another one. Alex Smith is 1.
Dang.
Alex Smith is 1. The other quarterback, there it is. Jay Rich's burner. John Elway. Elway, Bradshaw, Alex Smith, the only quarterbacks with fewer passing touchdowns through their first 7 starts than Cam Ward. 2 Hall of Famers and 1 really good quarterback. Alex Smith was a really good quarterback in the NFL. So Cam Ward's in good company. Do you think he adds to that total versus Indianapolis, Jay Rich?
I think he can add to the total, but
how much is he going to? They are 14.5 point dogs, Jay. 14.5 point dogs for Tennessee. What a disaster. That has got to be, it's depressing being a Cowboys fan, but at least I get excited on Sundays, right? I get to see some high-flying action, right? I get to see some Jerry Jones drama. I don't know what there is to look forward to in Tennessee. What do you get excited for? You want to see them DK receptions? See a little bit of that Skoronski up front? No Jeffrey
Ray.
Simmons. I couldn't name three
No,
defenders
Sneed,
out there
too.
outside of Simmons. What a
No Sneed,
putrid
he's on
team.
IR. This team's bad, man. You talk about 14.5 points. Indy put 41 on them in Tennessee, right? And we always talk about how they score more points at home than they do on the road. It's going to be bad. Maybe we see Cam Ward. Maybe they can scheme up another DK touchdown, right? You leak out, get up over the top of the defense. Big touchdown for Cam Ward, looking good. And then what happened? He folds like a tent in a light breeze after that. So,
buy that Cam Ward. There we go. Buy that Ward. Send me them first for Ward.
Ray, that arm talent, man. I don't know. I just can't quit that arm talent. But all jokes aside, this team's screwed, man. They're going to get destroyed. It's going to be a 30 piece at least, probably 40. And Jonathan Taylor's probably going to score another 3 touchdowns. So we'll see. You had Alec Pierce as a breakout potential candidate for a touchdown in this game because he doesn't have a touchdown. I believe he has 400 yards on the season. Tyler Warren leading all Colts in receiving yards on the season so far. Their top pass catcher, your tight end 1 in Dynasty. But I'm not feeling the Titans in this matchup. Not feeling it.
Did y'all see Eddie George's comments on the owner? No, we did not. I did not. I did not. Oh gosh, Jay Rich, answer this question for real. What would you pay for Cam Ward in Dynasty? What would you give up for Ward?
I'd give a second.
You're not trading the first for him?
Hell no. I wouldn't be disrespectful and offer a third, but you can't pay more than a second. You just can't.
I wouldn't be disrespectful and offer a third. I'd give you a second. You trading Ward for any? Would you trade Ward for any 27 first? Anyone? It could be.
Would I trade him away?
You give up Ward for any 27 first.
I think you should probably give up Cam Ward for a 26 second and a 27 second.
2 second-round picks for Cam Ward.
I think that's a slam dunk deal. Let me know, chat.
He was universally picked over Jackson Dart too, as well, right? In rookie drafts,
that's because he's number 1 overall pick, right? Number 1 overall pick. You can't take the 21st overall pick over the number 1 overall pick.
Kyler Murray or Cam Ward?
Kyler Murray.
Marvin Harrison or Cam Ward? I'm looking in the chat.
Oh, Marvin Harrison, for sure.
Swim said harsh truths from old Jay Rich this morning. All right, Jay. Let's go to chat. Let's go to chat before we get out of here. Let's go to chat. We got Bleacher Report after this. Another Bleacher Report. I traded 2 first-round picks for George Pickens. I'm in 3rd place in a dynasty league. Love that Pickens, man. 2 first. But love Pickens.
Wow.
And I mean, he's felt good over the past month. He's top 10 wide receiver, points per game. Ward or a rookie next year? I'll just say this, man.
No.
Slayer Stacker, Ward. I actually remember you because I think your name was pretty much the same as you're at right here.
Ray,
Jay, I am not enthusiastic about the 26 quarterbacks, right? I'm just not, because you are banking, let's just say it is Fernando, it is Ty Simpson, it is Dante Moore. You are banking on those guys being absolute surgeons from the pocket, because Moore can move around, but you really don't want him running. Ty Simpson can move around, but they're not Jackson Dart. They're not Jackson Dart. They're not Jackson Dart level of rushers. Garrett Nussmeier cannot move. John Mateer is probably not coming out, and even if he does, he's not going to be a first-round pick.
Yeah.
I think when it's all said and done, here's what's about to happen, Jay Rich. Darnold is going to get him an extension. Daniel Jones is going to get himself an extension.
Absolutely.
If Aaron Rodgers wants to continue to play, he's probably going to be afforded a job. Do the Falcons do something with Kirk Cousins and move him around?
That's another negative towards the class.
Mac Jones might get some interest from a team looking for a quarterback.
Under contract, but could be traded for.
There are, when we're talking the game that we play, the way it looks right now, it is not really what I want in 2026. It's not really what I want in 2026, man.
Well, I think to build off of that is let's outside of the players themselves, the talents. Let's talk about their opportunity. How do you feel about a quarterback being drafted to the New York Jets right now?
Not right now. Not right now.
How do you feel about a quarterback being drafted to the New Orleans Saints right now?
No.
Right? How do you feel about being drafted to Cleveland right now?
Ugh.
And then the
Not
last
great.
spot, Las Vegas. How about that?
They're going to clean house. They got to clean house.
Well, but it's like the offensive line is atrocious in Las Vegas.
I know.
The best spot, honestly, is probably Cleveland.
Probably.
Because they have a respectable offensive line. Their wide receivers and pass catchers kind of suck, but they do have Judkins. They have a great defense. Like, for winning football games, Cleveland's probably the best spot. But, like, you don't want a quarterback in New York, like on the Jets. You don't want a quarterback in Tennessee right now. You don't want a quarterback in Miami. You don't want a quarterback in New Orleans. New Orleans is a maybe spot, depending on how the cap situation looks.
Patrick said they got Kellen Moore.
Yeah, they got Kellen Moore. Pittsburgh is fine, but where are they drafting, right? And are they even taking a quarterback? Because right now they're at 25. Maybe they end closer to the 20s. Right in that Jackson Dart range from last year. And what did that get you? It was a quarterback who was maybe a top 8 option.
Tua.
Maybe in some drafts he was 12. Tua could be available? He could be available.
Here's the thing. Miami don't want him anymore, right? Dolphins fans are over him. I mean, do I believe Garrett Nussmeier is better than Tua? No. I don't.
And do you believe that Miami is even a good landing spot?
It doesn't feel like it.
No. The way they look on a regular basis, absolutely not.
I mean, you got to deal with Maye and Allen. You're going to be third place at best.
Yeah.
You got to deal with Maye and Allen twice a year.
Yeah, get your ass kicked by those two defenses twice a year.
Yeah. They're going to cut Tua? I don't know, Scribbles. I don't know. I don't know, man. Miami
People think that it could be coming because we've seen it happen recent years where teams have just moved on regardless of how much is owed to that player.
Yeah.
But I think Tua's dead cap next year is still like $60 million. Let me look it up real quick.
Yeah, I think I don't think Tua's days of a starting quarterback are over. I don't.
Or sorry,
it's
$100 million.
Yeah, I think they just got to get McDaniels out of there. I'm not saying he's great. I know Dolphins fans. Even in the mock that I did, I didn't even want to give the Dolphins a quarterback. What I wanted to do was draft Ruben Bain at number 2, improve the defense, get a new coach in there. Last one, Cam Ward or Tua?
Tua.
Ward's got way more value, right? People probably like him a hell of a lot more than they like Tua.
Tua's a better quarterback.
Tua's a better quarterback. May not have the arm talent, right? He doesn't have the arm strength. It's not as flashy. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Like Miami is a bad situation.
There's a lot of bad situations, Jay Rich.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad situations. All right. This situation is good, though. This situation is good, and we appreciate everybody being in the building. If you are here watching live, do one thing before you head out for your day for Friday. Hit the thumbs up button, like the content, subscribe to the channel. Check out the content on this feed, DDFFB, Dynasty Deal Show with Ty Shane and Scott Connor. Tonight, if you're members over there, you get to engage with them live. Make sure you check out the Trinity Show, mock draft. I am going to do a rookie mock today. Now I'm in rookie mock mode. Jay Rich, anything you want to say to people before we get out of here?
I hope everyone has fun, has a good weekend. I'll be watching the Blue Jays, and if I could make one recommendation to anybody who likes rap music, listen to The Boy Who Played the Harp.
Don't give us any European UK rap, dude.
I don't care what you have to say.
Dude.
It's one of the best albums I've ever heard. And I'm sorry.
Nobody wants come to the block. Nobody wants to listen to that shit.
It's got songs on it that I think every single man under the age of 25 should listen to.
Well, I'm 38, 39 years old.
I'm just saying.
UK rap is the worst.
It is
thing
one of the best
ever
albums
created.
I've ever heard.
Dude.
It's such a good album.
It shouldn't even be cat.
Look, I hear you, man. And you can have your comments all you want, but Dave is the best rapper in the world. And it's
Who is it? Close. Dave East?
No, Dave. Dave East is a New York rapper.
Yeah, that sounds like Dave East is from America. I'm down with Dave East.
It's Dave. It's Dave. Santan Dave. Best rapper in the world, and it's not close.
Best player in the world, Jay Rich. Victor Wembanyama?
Victor Wembanyama is pretty good.
He's pretty.
Bro, if I played in the NBA though, like I would be pissed if I had to go against Victor Wembanyama. Like imagine you're a power forward who's 6'11".
AD was in hell.
And this guy is 7'5" and just destroying you.
AD
play
was
after
in hell.
Play after play.
AD was in
crazy.
hell trying to guard Victor Wembanyama. All right. Patrick said he's going to check out Dave. He said he's going to check it out. All right.
It is so
All
good.
right. They said we're ending the show on a bad note. We're ending the show. Now I got to check it. Now my horizons aren't expanded. All right, Ricardo. I'll listen. Let's get out of here, Jay Rich. We'll see y'all later. We'll see y'all on Monday. We out. Peace, baby.
Peace.